All right. Our first question, I think we're going to Vermont to Katherine. Katherine, you are up.
Okay. I could talk about sports forever. I helped to launch the WNBA, and I also ran a coaches association. But my question for you is, my heart still aches thinking about the 2001 World Series and the final seventh game. And how do you work with a high performer like Mario Rivero after such a situation as what happened in 2001? It was like the 9/11, all the emotions were raw. He's usually a closer. And so in such a high profile situation, like how do you help someone come back from that? Obviously he's professional, but.
Yeah, great. No, it's a great question. So it was probably like, 24 months ago now that we were sitting I had to rebuild the gym in his house, and we were just sitting waiting for these, the truck to come and drop everything off. We were sitting in his living room, and I said, hey, I got to ask you a question. And this is why I'm laughing that you brought this up. I said, back in 2001, when you gave up the game in Arizona, what would you do differently? And he said, buddy, let me tell you something. I would do nothing different. He said, I would throw the same pitch in the same spot, and I would do nothing different. He said, the only thing that frustrated me and that I regret about that game is that it was the last game of the season, and I had to wait all the way to April to redeem myself again. So, for a guy like that, the lesson is this: like, there's so much trust and belief in himself, and he believed in that pitch, and even though that pitch was hit, he still believed in what it is that he did. So I think that's the greatest lesson. And if I were to coach somebody, I would take that same story and apply it and say, hey, do you believe you did your best? And if you say yes, sometimes you get beat, like in sports, and that. Sometimes you get beat in business. Sometimes you lose a deal, but that doesn't mean you're a bad deal maker. That doesn't mean you're a bad athlete. That doesn't mean you're a bad leader. Just sometimes you lose. And this is an example I use with hitters. Hitters, many of them get up to bat and they actually believe that they're going to get a hit every time up. And that sounds like that's great. I want people on my team that want to get a hit every time they get up, but it gets dangerous because when they don't, they can get really down on themselves. So what we do is we train people to be competitive rather than perfect. Because perfection doesn't exist in business. It doesn't exist in sport. It never exists. But if you are competitive and I were to say, hey, did you give it your best, Katherine? Did you give it everything you had? Were you prepared? Were you ready? And you said yes, then we do the same damn thing again.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was a fabulous answer. And I'm glad I had a timely.
Thank you.